Ladies and gentlemen, the city I am standing here today has a long and brutal history of war. It's been conquered by the Danish in the 1200s, the Swedes in the 1500s, the Russians in the 1700s, and the Russians again in the 40s under the Soviet Union. War is in this city's blood and in this country's blood. And today we're going to explore a little bit of that together. And before we even go any further in this video, just look at this. This is called the Varug. It's like the city gates essentially, but just look how beautiful this is. Look how old school. It's built in like the 1400s. That's just a little preview of the entire city we're gonna go look at. This entire city is like it feels like a medieval LARP or something. And you'll notice some of the people here are dressed in full garment, right? Like that dude over there selling stuff, and then her in the restaurant. They like really play into the medieval kind of old English vibe. It's really cool. I went in there to get a beer yesterday, and they asked me if I wanted a kid's beer or a man's beer. And the man's beer was literally like it was a gallon jug. It was the coolest thing ever. And I said, yeah, give me that man's beer, dude. What do I look like? Now we've arrived, ladies and gentlemen, to the town hall square. Drink it in. This was found in the 1200s, and since the 1200s, it's been the beating heart of the city. You know, they did public town announcements. Merchants lined up and sold stuff, similar to what they do today. There's a lot of restaurants today, but you know, still kind of holding that tradition. And they even did public executions here. And this sexy beast, ladies and gentlemen, is the town hall itself. Back in the day, Tallin was a part of something called the Hanseatic League. Hanseatic. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but basically, it was just a medieval trade alliance, a part of other medieval cities that Tallin was a part of. And it made the city extremely wealthy back in the day. So with that Hanseatic, however you pronounce it, with all the schmeckles that rolled in from that league, they developed this nice town hall with it. They developed a nice defensive perimeter for archers and like swordsmen to guard the city and protect it from, you know, the hundreds of different empires who came in here and trying to just grape and pillage this place. Now, after all of that information, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, Maximudi, what is the oldest pharmacy in Europe that still operates as a pharmacy today? And I would tell you, good question. It would be this building right here. It's called Papetique. It was built and still operates from the 1400s. Inside, it's got kind of like a Skyrim alchemy station kind of vibe going on. And on Google, just to let you know the level of sorcery going on in here, on Google, I saw a picture of like this giant mason jar with a fat toad inside of it. So we've ditched the town hall, ladies and gentlemen, and now we've arrived through that little tunnel over there. It's called St. Catherine's Passageway. This little street is filled with old 15th century artesian, that's how you say it? Artesian workshops. You know, your goldsmiths, your jewelsmiths, your whatever other smiths you want to include in there. They've got them in here. Think of it like an MMORPG, right? You know, at the town hall square, you stop there, got your frog potion juice, right? You got your mana potions. Then you would come here to get your level statted armor. Anyways, this passageway is named after St. Catherine's Church, which was a part of a Dominican monastery back in 1246. Unfortunately, most of it is now ruins now, as you can see from all the ruins. You know, back in the day, this is where you would get anything you would need from your medieval society. And I guess these are like the little stores that are still kind of open. You know, you got your little glass blowing wares and some more glass blowing wares over there. But I don't know where the jewelry stuff is at. I guess Google might have lied, or it's just not open right now. Look at the quality of this. Like, this is in the 1500s, everybody. And you can see it. It literally looks like just so old. It looks more like English medieval than actual or Scottish medieval, whatever like the medieval ideal we all have as Westerners in our head. This city looks more like it and feels more like it. And then as soon as you get outside that little the smithing area, you agree with this giant defensive wall. And I'm gonna see if we can actually climb this little behemoth right now. Sweet. Thank you so much. Here we go, everybody. Climbing this. Touch it. Oh my God. That's crazy. Rewind 400 years. I'd be an Estonian guard up here taking somebody's post. These are some really steep stairs. Okay, two options. Oh, dude, here's the shitter. You just drop it right into the city. Okay, two options, boys. Upstairs or outside. Fuck it, we're going upstairs right now. Room for wage war? We're going to the war room. We've made it to the war room. Just think, you would have like your general right here, and we'd be like sitting in these little benches, and he'd be prepping us for some like invasion or something. Wow. Let's look at some of the views, huh? Oh yeah. Money shot, baby. Look at that money shot. Oh my God. Tell me why my legs are already jiggling hard. Like I'm already, I feel like I just did 50 squat sets. Here we go. You ready? Oh, money shot again. Wow. This is insane, honestly. Like, objectively, I've never been on something like this. The closest thing I've ever been to this kind of situation, to where like I'm scaling a bastion wall, is in Minecraft, in the Nether. Here we go, we have another tower entrance here. We get to go inside of. Here we go. Let's get our respectful hats on, ladies and gentlemen. Put our respectful Grinch hats on and have some respect in here, you know what I'm saying? I'm literally climbing a staircase that's going directly vertical. Here we go. Hangman's noose right there. They'd probably hang a fool up in here for hang a deserter. If you don't want to hold your post down, they're gonna hang you right there. Nice little view. Okay, here we go, up the staircase. Look at that hangman's noose. Honestly, they probably could have tightened it a little tighter. It looks a little bit weak. Looks a little weak sauce in my opinion. I'm literally doing like the most extreme climb. Oh my God. Oh, please don't let me go back down that. It's just so awesome. Oh. What's this sign say? We earnestly ask you not to open the windows. It will be cold for the guests of the cafe. Thank you. I guess there's a cafe below me, huh? I could use a little coffee break. Let's go down this dungeon. Look, you see what I'm saying, how steep this is? It probably doesn't look that steep on camera, but good Lord have mercy. Be with me. Have mercy on my soul. Cafe. So those medieval towers we're just walking on in the walls, they've originally built over 2 kilometers of those walls. 2 kilometers. 500 years ago, it's insane. And they had over 40 towers 500 years ago. Today, there's a little bit less than 2 kilometers of wall left still standing, and there's like 26 towers that remain. But you can explore the vast majority of those towers. Today, we just hit 2 of the 26. And my legs are destroyed, bro. I'm hurting so bad. These defensive walls held off the likes of, you know, the Swedes, the Russians, some other people and stuff. Pretty much anybody who wanted to come and get some, came and got some, and then went back home, having got some. For my Western viewers, my Americans, my fellow brethren, look at that American flag waving high and proud in the streets of Tallin, Estonia. I might be having kidney stones coming out of my penis. Look at that, y'all. We've made it to this thing. What the hell is this? Look at that. Look at that. What's this? All right, I'm gonna steal that sign's information and just give it to y'all straight. This thing, apparently, whatever this means, it said it was first mentioned in the 1200s. Mentioned, built, I don't know, it said word mentioned in 1200s. But it said it was created in the 1500s. This giant behemoth. It says this church actually burnt down 3 times. One in the 1600s, 1800s, and I think the 1900s or 1700s, it said. But 3 times this church burnt down because of lightning. Oh, it's open too. We can go inside and look at it. Let's go check it out. Look in here. I gotta take the beanie off out of respect. It's right there. That's like the organ, right? Or something like that. You can see Jesus the depictions of Jesus Christ, King of the universe, being crucified by the Romans and the Jews. So, during World War II, what the hell? How can I get in here? How did we get in here, y'all? Is it open up there or something? Or what? This is a Soviet bunker, but how did we get into this Soviet bunker? I'm looking for nails or some heroin needle gonna impale my legs. Can we open this? No, there ain't no opening that. Dude, that's so fucked up. Okay, well, here's the Soviet bunker for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, looks like I see a potential bar over here. Let's just sprint in there and get a pisser going and get a beerski. Ladies and gentlemen, cheers. I stayed in that bar for like 2 hours, drinking some beers, taking some Estonian shots that they gave me on the house. Very sweet of them. I don't even know what the name of the restaurant or the establishment was, so I can't really shout it out or even their names. I didn't even get them. Even though we talked for 2 hours. That's what men do, you know. We can just talk, chill, become homies in 2 hours, not even know each other's names. But anyways, they told me about this place called Linau. It's the most Soviet thing that this city has to offer that has not been teared down since after the war and, you know, the occupation of the Soviet Union. And fun fact, it's actually where the opening sequence of Tenet, the Christopher Nolan movie, was filmed. It does definitely look like where they filmed the intro to Tenet, but how were those cars, like at one point there was like Russian cars and stuff coming in hot. Where the hell did they even come from? They didn't drive up that staircase. So like I said, this was built in the 1980s to facilitate the Olympic Games going on here. I don't know if it was like the entirety of the Olympic Games or just like a small section of it, like they were doing like just a specific event, but that's what I know, is that it was built for the Olympic Games, and in typical Russian Soviet fashion, anything that was like representing the government, it had to be huge. It had to be epic, right? And this is definitely huge, and honestly, I mean, epic, I don't know, but it's huge for sure. Let's just go up, huh? Let's just go up this thing. And now you got this nice, beautiful bay view of Estonia, of northern Estonia. Thank you. We're going through here. As you can see, there's like those red curtains and stuff in it. There's nice red Soviet curtains. CCTV camera there. Yeah, this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. There's a dude just butt-ass naked going in the water. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. He's a kind of a chunker. No clothes on. Wow, awesome. We just saw our first naked Estonian man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's getting kind of dark and kind of raining a little bit. Let's fast forward a little bit to Sunday, because tomorrow and the next day I'm going to the Russian border. So you'll see that in a future video. But let's fast forward a little bit and we'll go back to a different KGB prison and we'll explore more of the Estonian medieval kind of vibe it's got going on here in the city. So let's go. Welcome back to Tallin on this beautiful Sunday. It's like 12 in the afternoon or something like that. And today we're gonna continue and pick up where we left off. And we're gonna start here with the KGB torture cells in the lobby of this hotel. Went and planted a hotel on top of some KGB cells. So let's go and indulge ourselves here. Thankfully, we can talk shit about our modern governments and stuff, and that we don't end up in places like these, you know. Certain parts of the world today, you still do end up in places like these, and it's not pretty and it's not good. Most of the time, it ends up in death. So this room right here is kind of going through some other testimonies and stuff, some other people, you know, why they were incarcerated and put into prison for, this chick was 3 years put in prison because she was accused of raising a Soviet, like anti-Soviet daughter. They arrested apparently a 2-year-old boy, and you know, the mother or some grandmother bribed the guards to get him out. Here's a bunch of documentation, I guess. I don't know what exactly all this is. You know, this is what it looked like before, you know. They look all happy and cool, and, you know, then they get incarcerated by the, you know, KGB agents and stuff, and their lives are effectively over. It's a closet used to torture prisoners. A wooden or metal closet, or of different sizes. This one here is a relatively tall and spacious version. Kind of go in here and check it out. Look at this, y'all. You can't even get in here. Like, I can't get in here, like, with a backpack on. And it's not even that big of a backpack. Standing in here, it would literally, the door would come to you. The door would come to your chest. And then here's the main torture room. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was extremely depressing. And to help us with this depression, the next monument we're gonna go to, I'm not exaggerating, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but it's called Kick in the Cock. So we're gonna go look at Kick in the Cock together. But it's different being there, I'm not gonna lie. It has a really thick energy and just, you kind of feel the despair, like seriously, you really can. I always hear people being like all deep and you can feel the heavy thickness of the air, but you can. I just got blasted with holy water on my ankle. I felt it, a huge glob of it. That's awesome. Yeah, I love how intense the religion is here. You know, in America we just don't care, but they are super, what's the word I'm looking for? Their culture, you know, like their belief systems, and it's very prominent that they actually live this life of Catholicism or Orthodoxism or Protestantism, whatever ism that was, you know, like just the fact that we just walked up on that randomly. I mean, it is Sunday at 12:30, but that's awesome. And thank you for the holy water, sir, on my ankle, a huge glob of it. Beautiful city views up here, huh? The name Kick in the Cock actually has a meaning behind it. It's named Peak in the Kitchen because apparently you were so high up in the air that you could literally look through kitchen windows and see what they were eating for dinner or breakfast or whatever. But it's called Peak in the Kitchen in Swedish, I think. I don't know. So it's not kicking somebody in the balls. It's actually Peak in the Kitchen. But I like kicking the balls better, honestly. Dungeon number 1. It just goes down. These aren't shitters. Maybe they are. Maybe it's just like a 3-piece right here. You can home here, just post it up, taking shits together. Look at that staircase. Just literally, you just fall downwards in a hole. Bruh. That's crazy. Dated and stuff. 1559. That's crazy. 1559. These are some of the cannonballs they used. That's heavy. Oh my gosh. That's probably like, honestly, oh dude, that's like 80 pounds. Maybe even more, honestly. Oh dude, that's so heavy. Oh, it says don't touch or you can't touch. Let's touch some more. This one's not as heavy. That one is, what is that, like lead or something? Like, that's crazy. And these are different sizes of cannonballs they would shoot, huh? That's more like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of vibe, you know, clean black. A Sea of Thieves, if you will. These are just like hunks of rock. So what's interesting to note about the Bastion tunnels is that they were originally created by the Swedes who occupied these lands as well. They were used to move ammunition, weapons, arms, just kind of out of the way of the people, so no spies and stuff could look at it and kind of see what they were doing. To be all like super secretive, right? And then the Soviets came in and they took it over and they used it for wow, look at that. Anyways, yeah, the Soviets came in here and they also used these tunnels for like bomb bunkers and bomb shelters and stuff like that. So it's kind of got, you know, a medieval past and also kind of like a modern history use as well. And now today it's just a museum. And yeah, it's kind of cool. So now I put this thing in low light mode so you can probably see what's kind of going down a little bit better. But as you see, right, I told you the Soviets, they use this like a bomb tunnel, bomb area. Look at that right there. Wow, we got the graffiti portion of this place. Anarchy. Yeah, they were always scared of gas attacks, bomb attacks, so you'll see a lot of gas masks and stuff like that around here. I don't know what this is, like a hot water heater or something maybe? Probably not. Looks like radio equipment. or something. Screaming at that train. I think this is the part right here they mined off, or they closed off because it was flooded. That's what this kind of stuff demonstrates. Dude, look at this person just creeping on a corner, all smiling, all creepy like. Looks demon possessed, honestly. I'm kind of expecting him just to like fling and jump at my face. Kind of scared. I kind of don't want to turn around. Maybe like an SCP situation where if I turn around and don't look at him, he's gonna like charge me. Yeah, these tunnels were not originally a part of the construction of the clock tower and all the other stuff. This was like a 17th century invention by the Swedes, like I said, to move the ammo and stuff, and then, you know, and the rest of it was used by the Soviet Union for riding out World War III, the nuclear holocaust. That's why you see a bunch of like electricity and stuff, moving oxygen in, and some light source, putting radio signals to the surface from here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just got out of that tunnel system here. And now we're greeted with this nice big crucifix thing. What it is, I have no idea, but it looks pretty cool, huh? Nice. Look at that beaut. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. It's pure Russian style. You know, you can't see it. You can only see 3, but there's 5 giant, voluptuous onion domes on it. Nice mosaics of Mother Mary and then Jesus. And they built this Russian Orthodox church right in front of the Tumpia Castle, where coincidentally a Martin Luther statue was gonna go. And this was kind of like a diss against Lutheranism. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the church. Look at this, like, intense woodwork they got going on here. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And look at these giant doors we gotta open. Got a couple right here, just like kind of, okay, get me in here. Oh my Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are inside of the nice, big, girthy Russian Orthodox church. Every single Russian Orthodox church I come across in Narva and here, they're always like so grandeur. And no photos? Oh, okay, got you. Gotta put this away, boy, sorry. Sneak peek there. I wasn't supposed to be videoing, apparently. An old babushka came in and, you know, told me to stop filming, so. No, you're good, you're good.
Speak English, all right.
Yeah.
X5.
Yes.
I've been rocking the X2.
Oh, dude.
Is
I
it
just
that
got
much better?
Anyways, yeah, the church up there, I got kicked out, unfortunately. Babushkas were camping corners and shit, just like waiting to boot me out. Apparently you can't film in this church. When does that become a thing? I've been able to film in every single Orthodox church I've been to, but I guess they hate me, so they targeted me. And just what a beautiful city, you know what I mean? Look at this place. I'm out here walking in a medieval fortress, you know, meeting some other vloggers and stuff. That was a cool gentleman we just met. His name was Remy. I'm gonna link his YouTube in the comments below so you can check him out too. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for watching. I believe that's it for Tallin. What did we see this trip? We saw medieval castles. Did we even see a medieval castle? I think so. Medieval walls. Appreciate you for watching, making it this far if you did. Shout out Remy. I'll link his stuff below. Thanks for watching. Godspeed.